Don't ever throw away your unripe tomatoes again. This green tomato relish is fantastic, and yesterday I made a big batch of it and I'm going to show you how. I've been making this green tomato relish for the last couple of years and I'm so happy with this recipe. It goes so nicely on a burger, in a sandwich, or with anything really. And it's not too sweet, it's not too sour, it's just really bright and fresh. And it's really great being able to use an ingredient that might otherwise go into the bin, as I don't have chickens to feed these tomatoes to or a compost bin in my very small garden. So, and I hate wasting things that I've grown. So there was a lot more juice in those than I normally get. That's the difference between these, the green envy. If you have the normal red tomatoes that haven't ripened, they are not as juicy. These were still really juicy, even though they are as hard as bullets. So I am going to now leave those to strain for a while. And I'm not going to waste that juice, I'm going to use that in cooking, I think. And then I've just got to clean up the kitchen, and while that's doing, I'll leave that for about 30 minutes or so. You can change and adapt parts of this recipe if you want to add something else to it. For me, I always do celery and onion, and I normally use red onion, but I had some white onion, so I've done a mixture of the two. And I should have used the food processor to chop the onion, but I'd already cleaned it up at that point and I really didn't want to dirty it again. So it's just a matter of finely dicing the celery and the onion. And when you dice the tomatoes, again, you can do this by hand. I did use the food processor, and just pulse it. You don't want to blend it to make it to dice it too finely, and also you don't want to puree. So after straining, the tomato goes in with the other vegetables, and I don't know why I dirtied up another bowl. I should have just put this straight into the saucepan, but there you are. And then it's just a mix. Just mix the sugar and the spices together with a little bit of flour, and that flour is just to thicken up any extra juice, because obviously with tomato you're always going to have a lot more liquid that comes out when you're cooking it. And it then just gets cooked for a little while and then popped into jars and stored. If anyone has any other ideas about recipes using unripe green tomatoes, I would love to hear it, because I probably won't need to necessarily make more of this next time, or if I do, maybe I won't make such a big batch, but I would love to have other alternatives with using these up, and I love new recipes. I do also need to mention that if you're not a big tomato fan, then there is a good chance you will still like this. My husband has never been able to eat tomatoes, but he did like this because I don't think it's because it doesn't taste tomatoey, if that makes any sense. And so it is a really nice condiment. Without a doubt, there is something so comforting and satisfying about making things like this yourself. Not only because you know exactly what's in it, and even though you can buy everything you need from the shops, so many of the things that we buy are full of unnecessary and awful ingredients, that it is lovely to know exactly what's in your food. As well as the fact that nothing quite beats spending a day in the kitchen when it's chilly outside and there's a lovely peace to it. Yes, it's messy and you've got to clean up and all of those things, but for me, it's my happy place, I suppose. And here are the finished jars. I've got about 12 of these, and they will go away and be used throughout the year. I'm Teresa. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.